Hello, hello, everybody, and welcome to Lunch and Learn, episode 22, creating an environment for success. Oh my gosh, this is such a good one. I have had the pleasure to work with John C. Maxwell, and I learned all about creating an environment that is conducive for having success, not only for you, but your team. I'm going to move my camera here a little bit. Ugh, it's driving me crazy. Okay, there we go. Awesome. So, episode 22 already. Happy Monday, everyone. Today, for those of you guys who are watching in the future, is November 14th, 2016. So, thank you for joining us. And as a reminder, make sure you subscribe on YouTube. It is Tara Wilson. No, it's youtube.com/Create Wealth with Tara. So you never miss an episode. You will get alerted so that you can archive them and share them. They are always general MLM training. I do not talk about my products or my services. I just give examples of products and services to illustrate examples. So anyway, all right, let's talk about environment. Ooh, environment. This is a big one. Okay, the first step towards success is taken when you refuse to be a captive of the environment you found yourself in. So a lot of people look around their life. Are you in the right relationships? Do you have the right health? You know, is your house a happy, harmonious place? What about your work? You know, do you have a job? Do you like going there? Do you hate going there? What about your business? Is it a growing environment? Is it a failing environment? Are people happy and thriving, or are they negative and complaining? You know, it's crazy, the energy of a team, how quickly it can shift one way. And as a leader, you have to make sure that you're setting the pace and growing your environment. So, where's my little, I'm sorry, looking for something. I have a little plaque that talks about all the growth environment, but all right, well, I can remember it. So make sure that you have, you know, and this is really good for leaders. And remember, when you're, even if you're, have a team of 3, you're a leader, right? Leadership is not something you earn by a rank or income. Leadership is when you make a decision to be responsible for the results in your team. So have you made a decision? And even when you start just with one person and you start leading one person, then 2 people, then 4 people, the leadership culture that you start from the very beginning will be the pace that your team sets. So the environment is probably one of the most important things you can do to, you know, create a lasting legacy. Because I honestly, I want everyone to know that your legacy starts today. You know, legacy doesn't start when you have 1 million people on your team. You start creating that legacy when you have just you. And then when you have 1, and then 2, and then 4, and then 8, and then 16, and 32. And as you grow, you have to cultivate certain things that you want to carry through forever. So number 1 is create an environment that is affirming, right? It's positive. People come there and they're excited to be there. You know, I have a team name and we call ourselves, still looking for something, hold on one second, Team Heart. And we have some mottos. This is so weird. I have a plaque that has all of the things on it. Oh, someone was in my office apparently. All right, awesome. All right, anyway, sorry about that distraction. We have a motto with my team that everything matters and everyone matters, and that it's not a performance-based acceptance, that you will be loved, mentored, guided, helped, whoever you are. So, you know, you think about it, when you start a team, you're on someone's team, true, and you should be inspired by them, or hopefully you're inspired by them. But remember, when you start a team, you down. That's your responsibility. Don't put it on your upline to create the culture of your team. You create the culture of your team. So are you constantly being positive? Are you reinforcing people? Are you encouraging them? Are you celebrating? Or are you harping on them? Are you being negative to them? Are you gossiping? Are you complaining? Never complain downline, by the way. Always complain upline. When it's good, go down. When it's bad, go up. Because remember that you are creating an environment from the very get-go, from the second. Every person that you launch, every one-on-one you do, you're creating an environment that will set a standard. And you want to create a very, very, very positive affirming. Number 2 is you want to be in a place where people are ahead of you. If you're the top of your class, you're in the wrong class, because in order to have a growth environment, you have to know that there's beyond you. See, because let me give you an example. So for years, they thought it was impossible, like physiologically, physically impossible for a human to run a 4-minute mile. And because people held that belief, nobody ran a 4-minute mile, because they said, well, it's not possible. They studied the human anatomy, and it's like, you just, like, a human will never fly. We don't have wings. It's aerodynamically impossible for us to fly unless you jump out of a building or an airplane, right? But they figured out. And so there was a belief that the lid was, you're never going to go beyond 4 minutes until someone did it. And literally never anyone did it in history. And one guy did it, and all of a sudden now so many people have done it, right? So you have to, if you're the top of your class, you're in the wrong class. If there's no one else modeling behavior, then your brain will never say, there's more possible. And I just gave this example in a training that I did for our UK team, that if you have a pumpkin seed, a pumpkin can grow really big. I mean, you guys seen them in the contest. You could have like 8,000 pound pumpkins, right? One little seed can grow into a pumpkin this big, that, it can keep growing. But if you put that pumpkin in a little seed in a little jar that's this big, that pumpkin seed will never grow beyond the confines of that glass. And that's what you do with your mind. The law of the lid says if there's not other people ahead of you, then you're not going to be inspired to go any further. So you want to be in an environment where people are ahead of you, people are growing, people are modeling the behaviors. So growth is not by accident. Growth is intentional, right? You have to be intentional about your growth, and you have to be intentional about creating an environment. Is your environment where the focus is forward? A lot of people in MLM, and I had a great training a couple episodes back about the traits of an entrepreneur, that an entrepreneur is a creative, that when some people see hurdles or obstacles, others see opportunities or growth, right? The focus has got to be forward. What can I do? What's possible? Not where we've been. You only look back to see how far you've come and to learn, from your mistakes, but what is possible? You got to focus forward. What's going to happen today on the team? What's going to happen tomorrow? Okay, that was yesterday. Now what are we doing today? What are we doing tomorrow? What are we doing next week? What's our goals for the next month? What's our goals for the next quarter? I'm constantly focusing my efforts forward. If I have a bad month, I get myself up, I scrape off, and I go after again. And I don't compare myself to others. I'm inspired by them. I'm motivated by them, but I don't compare myself to others. I compare myself to me. So last month in October, I did some medium effort, and I sponsored a total of 7 people, customers and distributors total. And all I cared about in November was being better than I was in October, right? Because I'm running my own race. I'm focusing forward. Okay, October was fine. What could I do? And it is the 14th of the month, and I've already enrolled 8 people. I got another gentleman who's probably on the call, just asked me for his link to become a customer. And I'm launching a new distributor at 2 o'clock today. So I will have 10 enrolled by 2 o'clock today. And that's intentional. So I've already grown almost 50% over last month, right? Focus forward. Another thing is you have to be in an environment where you wake up excited. Do you love what you do? Do you wake up excited for the day and the possibilities? Or do you wake up thinking, oh, I gotta go work with that person again, or I gotta make more calls? Like I sat there on Friday, and Friday was Veterans Day. And for those of you in the U.S., and that's a holiday, so my kids had no school, and a lot of people took it off. And I knew it would be a bad day to prospect, but I did it anyway. I was like, first of all, it's Friday, and entrepreneurs just take Friday off. Second of all, it's a holiday, and I didn't think many people would respond to me, but I did it anyway. And I actually put, 20 or so people in my funnel, meaning I prospected 20 people. I sat there on Friday instead of taking the day off with my kids because they were just playing outside. They didn't need me. I sat there and I remade a list, and then I started messaging people sending them information, and I did activity on Friday. And because I have a goal to challenge myself, and I love what I do. And so I don't tell myself, well, it's Friday, I can't work. I tell myself, well, what can I do today? You know, my kids are out playing, the sun is shining, and I could sit there, I could go to the mall, I could go get a pedicure, I could go, you know, go shopping, but why? You know, I'm in an environment where I'm excited every day. I love what I do. I'm inspired and motivated to do what I do because I have a purpose. So I think a lot of it's so easy to just, everything in life is easy to do, but it's easy not to do. And discipline is just doing it anyway. Also, make an environment where everyone is challenged. You have to be challenged, and you have to be going out of your comfort zone. So there's a lot of people on this list that were out of my comfort zone a little bit, meaning, you know, I looked at this list and like, oh, well, are they going to wonder why it's taken me a year to contact them? Are they going to think I'm desperate for all of a sudden contacting them? Like, oh, you're already making all this money and your team's got 12,000 people. Why are you still calling me if you're making all this money? But because it's not about money, right? So for some person, the money I'm making would put me by myself in the top 2.7% of combined household incomes, just by myself, without my husband's. For most people, they would look at me and say, that's so much money. Why are you still working? Why are you still prospecting? Because it stopped being about income years ago. And now it's about impact. See, my definitive purpose is, you know, I'm a wellness entrepreneur because cancer rates and heart disease and everything is on the rise. And I want to leave the world a better place. I want to create wellness entrepreneurs. I also want to help people get healthy personally through products and education. So if you're in a service-based company and, you know, you have a service or a technology that you think is going to revolutionize the world, that should inspire you to get out every day. You should be challenged by that. You should be motivated by that. You should be going out of your comfort zone because you truly believe that everyone should have that. So whatever you do, whether it's skincare or jewelry or makeup or, you know, some kind of technology or insurance or cell phone service or, you know, botanical herbs or something, doesn't matter, is you should be willing to go out of your comfort zone and stretch every single day for the sole purpose of your mission, right? Your environment should be a mission-based environment, that you're surrounded by people who are congruent with what you want to accomplish. So I am constantly attracting into my world two types of people. People who want to get healthy, you know, who want to live longer, healthier lives. And I attract entrepreneurs who want to do that. And it's crazy. And for those of you who know, I told you last week, or last episode, I rewatched The Secret. And I know a lot of you guys think it's hocus pocus, but if you haven't never watched it, it's free on Netflix. If you're, I mean, I pay like $10 a month for me and all my kids to have Netflix because it's better than TV. And it's free on Netflix. Watch it. You're going to constantly attract what you're vibing in the universe. And I tell myself every day that today I will find people who want to get healthy, and today I will find people who want to join my business and partner up with me. So you gotta be growing. You've got to be challenged. You have to be going out of your comfort zone. These are all parts of a healthy environment. You know, in a healthy environment on a leader level is growth is modeled and expected. So on my team, you know, I'm one of the co-founders of my team. You know, and we did this because last year when we decided to make a transition into the company we're in now, myself and all of our leaders said, you know, we've got to create an environment that people will feel that even if they're not making money or a lot of money, that they will be excited and honored to be a part of this team because they will be taught mindset, skill set, leadership, and values and things that will make themselves a better. You know, a lot of the stuff we teach, you know, especially like self-discipline, this doesn't just go for business, guys, or money in a bank account. This stretches to relationships. This stretches to health. This stretches to goals. You know, whatever you want to accomplish in life, it's going to take a certain set of things like self-discipline and changing your mindset and growing into who you want to be. So an environment, you should wake up excited because you have created this place where your soul thrives. and that you not only are enjoying all the people that you've brought into your team and your environment, but that you're looking forward to bringing others in. Like I'm so excited that we've created a place, and I encourage all of you to do this, no matter where you are or whose upline or downline you're in, no matter how big or small your team is. You make a decision to create an environment where people will be proud to be in your team. You make that decision. Don't wait for someone to do it, right? You don't need a PowerPoint to do it. You don't need skills to do it. You don't need technology to do it. You just need to be that person. You need to be the example. It's your decision, right? A growth environment is an environment where you realize that failure is not your enemy, and failure is modeled, failure is acknowledged, failure is rewarded, right? So if someone calls me and says, gosh, Tara, you and I have scheduled our launch call for next, Thursday at 8 o'clock, and I just failed. I couldn't get anybody on the call. I'm not going to say, well, geez, that's awful. And what'd you do? I'm just going to say, hey, good for you. Like, how many people did you call? I called 15. Congratulations. You called 15. Do you know that there are thousands of people that join MLM every day that call 0? So congratulations for calling more. And if they call 1, you're way, way, way ahead of them. So congratulate people for failure. And I think a lot of people have such a negative stigma attached to failure, meaning you don't get the desired outcome. Failure is not what you think it is. Failure is necessary to get to where you want to go. A lot of people think failure is, I didn't do something, so I'm defeated. Failure is not defeat. Failure is, I found a way that didn't work. And those of you guys who saw my Facebook post a couple days ago, if you don't, go read it. It's probably one of my favorite posts that I've ever done. I talked about Colonel Sanders. Now, his story just absolutely inspired me. I saw it on a video clip. Tony Robbins was just live in San Jose last week, and he had Pitbull, the singer. And Pitbull talked about how when he was young, he said he was 10 years old. He remembers driving to school in Miami, and he said, my mom listened to this crazy guy called Tony Robbins. And he said, one day I went to change the station, and she says, excuse me, do you pay for this car? And he said, no. She said, don't touch that. And she says, I remember one time you talked about Colonel Sanders and his story, and it clicked, and it changed my life. So I said, I got to learn about the Colonel Sanders story. So I went and researched, and Colonel Sanders owned a restaurant, and he made mediocre income, and at 65, when most people were retiring, he closed his restaurant. He got his first pension check, and it was like $105, and he's like, I can't live on this. And of course, this was decades ago, but at 65 years old, he says, I have a fried chicken recipe that everybody loves. I'm going to sell this recipe for 10 cents. And so he packs up his car at 65 years old, when most people are retiring. He packs up his car and travels around the United States. He got 1,009 no's. Like, no thank you. Nope, not interested. 1,009 no's before he got his first yes. And for those of you guys who saw my post, I just have to show you, I have to read it because it's so crazy that people, guys, I have made millions of dollars and I haven't even gotten 1,000 no's yet. I promise, I don't even think I've gotten 500 no's. I'm kind of a cherry picker. I'm a little bit of a chicken. So there's a little reality check for you. I'm a little bit of a chicken. I'm a cherry picker. Meaning, if I don't think you're going to join my team, I don't think there's a chance, I'm not even going to try. I'm a little bit of a cherry picker. I don't think I've gotten 300 no's, right? So he got 1,000 no's. And today, this is so crazy. This is why I made 20 contacts on Friday, because I inspired myself. Today, 1,000 no's, 1,009. KFC Kentucky Fried Chicken is currently in more than 17,000 locations worldwide, with more than 450,000, 500,000 employees, and worth $9 billion in sales from a chicken recipe. And he got 1,009. So it's like, It's grown into one of the most profitable franchises in the world. What if he would have stopped when he got 1,008? I'll be real. Like, let's really be real here. Let's dive deep here. Let's dive. Most of you would not be here if you got 10 no's in a row. Some of you, 20. You'd last 20. Some of you, 50. But I guarantee you, if you made your list today of 100 people and called all of them and 99 of them said no, you would not make the 100th call. 1,009 no's. And he was cold calling. He was cold calling. This is not picking up the phone and calling your friends and family and saying, hey, I started a business. Mom, support me. Believe in me. Encourage me. Show up and listen to information for 30 minutes, because even if you don't want to buy from me and even if you don't want to partner with me, who do you know that might? We have even a rejection-free script that we give our team, which I have already done in a prior episode, how to invite. So go to that episode. But you guys won't even make, this is a 5 to 7 years to really to learn the skills, to master your craft, to learn the mindset skill set. Can you do it faster? Absolutely. I got to a multi-six-figure income my second year in this industry. But for most people, it's 5 to 7 years. Most people don't last 5 to 7 phone calls, you guys. So that's why I got out of my comfort zone on a holiday when I didn't think anybody would respond to me, because I said, I don't even care if I get all 20 of them or no's. I'm going to find a yes. And because I was vibrating in that frequency and I was in like, I want people on my team. I want everyone to hear about my products. I want everybody to hear about my opportunity. I got a message from a lady who I thought she saw my Facebook posts about my business. She goes, no, I was just reaching out to you, who I'm launching today at 2:00, who's been with another company for a year and a half with zero success, but she's grown her life and she's grown her mind. And she says, I'm ready. It's just not the right vehicle. And I was like, oh, you hadn't seen my Facebook post? She's like, no. I was like, oh, so you guys got to get into the right place. Are you challenged? Are you going out of your comfort zone? Are you focusing forward? Are you in an affirming environment where people are desiring change? People are desiring success. That that it's modeled around you. That failure is okay, and that every time you do fail, you'll learn and you'll still be loved. That's the environment you've got to create if you want to create a lasting legacy in this industry. Because people, long after, after you stop working together, people won't remember how much money you made, but they'll remember how it felt. Even if people leave my team, I know if that's what they choose, and not many do, but they will know that their life and their attitude and their acceptance was some of the best they've ever had, right? You have the chance and the choice to do that with your team, because a lot of people think MLM is about a product or service. No. This is an industry about people development. You don't build a business, you build people, and people build the business. And this is a people growing business wrapped around products or services, and they are not all created equal. I really do believe that some products and some services are more widely acceptable, bigger markets, better, for a lot of reasons, whether it's price or marketability. I really don't think they're all created equal. But you build people and people build a business. And what people want on a team is an environment where they're encouraged, where they're loved, where they're accepted, where they're honored, where they're helped, where they're mentored at their pace, not yours. I've been involved in teams where it's like, go. If you're not working 80 hours a week, you're part-time. If you're sleeping more than 4 hours, you're never going to grow. Like, baloney. I sleep 8 to 9 hours a night. And you know what? I'm healthy because of it. I'm never sick because of it. I'm never tired because of it. I'm very productive, but I'm also a woman. I'm just kidding. We women can do 8 hours of work in 4 hours. We can also do laundry and dishes while we're doing 3-way calls, man. I look at my husband and I'm like, open the door. And he's on the phone. I'm like, just open the door. He's like, no, open the door. I'm just kidding. I'm teasing him because he's in the other room spouting off. He's like, you're not kidding. All right, so environment, let me just recap again. Where others are ahead of you, because if you're at the top of your class, you're in the wrong class. Where you're continually challenged, The focus is forward. What can we do? What's possible? The atmosphere is affirming. Everyone is loved. Everyone is accepted, whether they put in one customer a year or one customer an hour. They are all, everyone matters. You're out of your comfort zone. You got to be out of your comfort zone, but in your gift zone. So John Maxwell said the perfect formula of success is get out of your comfort zone, but in your gift zone. So one of my gift zones is I'm really good at you're remembering the information and being able to paint the vision. Like when I went and met the lady yesterday who was launching today, I was just really good at painting the vision of who we are, what we're doing, why we're doing it, and what will it mean for her to get involved with us. I didn't have a flip chart, I didn't have a video, I didn't have a pen and paper. I was wearing flip-flops and jeans, and I met her at a coffee house, and we just talked. I just talked to her. That's my gift zone. So, but my comfort zone is attraction marketing and maybe talking to a few people that I know and cherry picking. Getting out of my comfort zone. Imagine if I would have made 50 contacts on Friday. That would have been out of my comfort zone. And then I would be in my gift zone. When you're stretching yourself out of your comfort zone and you're in your gift zone, that's where the magic happens. So don't stay protected in your safe little world. Go out. An environment where you wake up excited. Like I wake up excited every day. I love what I do. I love the people we work with. I love the mission we're on. I love the company and the products, the industry. I love the industry. I love the people. I love doing my lunch and learns. I love the possibility of every day. Failure is not your enemy. Remember, the opposite of success is not failure. The opposite of success is mediocrity. The opposite of success is being exactly where you are because you're afraid to fail. If you're afraid to fail, then you're never going to grow. You're going to be here forever, wherever you are, in your finances, in your health, in your relationship. If you're afraid to grow, you're not going anywhere. An environment where everyone's growing, that growth is modeled and expected. I model, I kind of got off on a rabbit trail, but I model growth because as a leader of my team, which is a decision, because I made the decision, it doesn't matter how many people on my team, I made the decision to be a leader on my team, whether it's 1 or 100,000, that my decision is I am never going to ask you or people on my team to do something that I'm not currently doing or willing to do. I tell people, they say, should I go put flyers on cars? I'm like, I would never do that, so I don't think you should. This is what I do. This is how I do it. These are the calls I make. These are the texts that I send. These are the messages. These are the posts I put on. Like, I teach my team to do what I do, but I do it consistently. And I want them to see that I'm doing it consistently because I don't want anybody on my team to ever say that our leader doesn't lead by example. That, oh, she's just sitting there collecting her checks. That will never be me. I will never lead from my ivory tower saying, hey, from all parts of the world while you go build my business. No. I'm in the trenches every day, and I try to out-recruit and outperform everybody on my team so that I can continue learning. If all of a sudden, I do 20 prospecting calls and I get little new questions or new objections or whatever, now I'm learning and I'm more valuable with my position of moral authority, meaning walking the walk. If I'm continuing walking the walk, I'm going to start going over the same obstacles as you, then I can better equip you. It's like, oh, I just did that last week, or I just had that question last week. Let me tell you how I handled it. Or, this is what I said and it worked. So let me teach you. If I'm constantly doing the activity and staying in phase 1, then I'm going to be able to better teach you, right? If I said, oh my gosh, in all these years, I finally found this one way that everyone says yes, had I been in maintenance mode or management mode, I wouldn't have found that way. Now I'm not as valuable of a leader. So think about it. You are expected to continue to grow yourself so that you can continue adding values to others. So another thing you guys need to do from a personal standpoint, again, is change who you hang out with. If you're wanting to be financially free, healthy, and in loving relationships, and everyone around you is broke, negative, obese, and divorced, then it's probably time you start just making different connections, and it's your choice. Like, there are members of my family that I don't spend any time with because they are not the people that I would ever spend time with. And just because they have the same blood running through my brain veins, doesn't mean I'm obligated to invest the short time because I'm on a mission. And I love them. I pray for them. I send them positiveness, but I'm on a mission and I want to be around the people who are going to help me get to my definitive purpose, my calling. And you should too. All right. What else? challenge yourself in your new environment. Challenge yourself consistently. Ask yourself constantly, what are your strengths? Are you using your strengths? What are you learning right now? If you're not learning and you're not growing, you're going backwards. What do I need right now? Do you need, what areas can you improve? What can you read? What can you watch? What can you listen to expand in those areas? What haven't I asked that I should? What haven't I done that I should? Right? What if you're stuck in your business? What is it that you know you need to do that you haven't done? I mean, we have launch guides and we have getting started trainings, and I know every company does. I've looked at all of your websites. You all have, what haven't you done that the leaders are doing? There's no secret. They like the top leaders don't have like this little secret society where like, oof, we're going to get to the top and never tell anybody how we got there. Like the opposite. The greatest thing about MLM is that when the people get there, they write training manuals to give you the exact steps. And if you don't do the exact steps, you're not going to get there. And in an environment, a growing environment, a positive environment on your team is that you teach everyone the exact steps. So you got to take personal responsibility as a leader. What steps have you not done? Because if you have not done them, you can't teach them. It's funny because I had this guy on my team and he said, I'm really bad at recruiting, but I want to, this is funny. Like I almost can't believe I'm saying this outside. And he told me this, he goes, hey, Tara, I'm really bad at recruiting, but I'm thinking I'll just teach other people to be good at recruiting and then I can build my team that way. Like I'll take the two people on my team and I'll just teach them how to recruit. I'm like, so tell me how you're going to teach them how to recruit when you don't know how to recruit, because surely if you could teach it, then why don't you teach it to yourself? Like that didn't make sense. So a better, growth environment won't help you if you don't do everything in your environment to protect it and to make the most out of it. There's always hope. There's always success. There's always somebody modeling it. There's always someone teaching it. There's always someone, learning and growing and sharing their experience with them. And the more it's you, the larger your team will grow, because people, not that many people take life by the horns and really just take ownership. They want to take, they're not givers. Be the giver, be a giver, a giver, a giver. So you want to create a great environment, create an environment of giving it away, like learning and giving it. And so your team will learn it and give it. And that's the way that you really, really build an organization. It's not about just taking from one person, like learning from them. It's, I want all of you, I'm going to challenge all of you that when you learn this, whether you're in my team or my company or in another company, when you learn these lessons, go give them away. Like grab someone and say, here, watch this. Or just take the cliff notes or your notes that you've written and say, I want to teach you this. Like, let's create, like, what if you grabbed 5 people on your team, and let's say you have only 5 people on your team, and say, hey guys, let's put a structure together. Let's create a team. Let's call it something. And these are going to be our guiding principles. This is the environment that we're going to create. Can you imagine if you went and did that today? Like how much more abundant and how much more excited that your team members would be to show up, and more importantly, how proud they would be to go out and find other people who'd want to be part of that, because they feel like, wow, this is going to make my life better. Why wouldn't I want to go make other people's life better? So create that environment that you're proud to be a part of, but also create the environment that you know that others will be too. And that's how you grow a legacy. One more thing about environment, maybe one more thing, I don't know. Let me look at my notes. Move forward despite criticism, right? So no matter what other people say, no matter what other people do, you keep running on your mission. I mean, of course, every great has critics. Every leader has critics. I mean, shoot, look at the elections done. I mean, the country was literally divided in half, right? Everybody is going to be criticizing. So no matter who won, the other half of the country was going to criticize, right? I mean, it's just inevitable. But move forward despite it. Don't wait for change. Enact change. Don't wait for others to be better. You be better. Don't wait for others to go do it. You go do it. Don't wait for your leader. Don't call your upline today and be like, hey, I have this great idea. You and me, we're going to go to work, because all they're going to hear is you want me to do something for you. You take responsibility. Well, Tara, I only have 2 people on my team. Awesome. Because if you lead them right, you can turn 2 into 200,000. I can show you how. So lead. Don't look up. Look down. Be the catalyst. Be be the person that makes responsibility. So if you create an environment that other people want to be involved in, I promise you that environment will keep you motivated. That environment will keep you excited. That environment will keep you engaged. But because we have created a team environment, I don't ever say, oh, I don't want to do anything for my team today. I say, what's going on my team today? The first thing I do is I open my Facebook messages. I open my reports. I see what's going on in my business today. What's going on in my team? I go into our group. Who's joined? And I go to all the welcome posts and I welcome people to my team. And who's rank advanced? And I give them a congratulations every day. Because this is an environment where I'm proud to be a part of. And this is an environment that I'm proud to bring people into. So again, your legacy will start with the environment, and the environment starts with you, and that you starts with a decision. And so create the environment that you want to be in every day. Set the example, set the pace, lead the pack. Despite what's going on around you, despite what your upline doing, your crossline's doing, or other people in other company, or other people on Facebook, ignore it. You change you. You enact the change. You're the CEO. The circle at the top of the whiteboard with all those sticks and circles, the one in the top has your name on it. So create that environment, and you will absolutely see changes immediately. So I could go on forever. I just love these because I just want to sit and talk to you guys all day, but I have to get back to my prospecting. I have to get back to changing lives here. So I will see you guys tomorrow. And remember, please subscribe to my YouTube so you never miss an episode. YouTube.com/create wealth with Tara. And please feel free to share with anybody in your team, because I will never list, build, collect names, or talk about my products or my opportunities. So thank you guys. Enjoy the free MLM training, and enjoy your week. See you tomorrow for episode number 23.